And now, we take a dramatic turn in history. We've shifted our broadcast to the year 1493, just weeks after the return of the legendary Christopher Columbus from his first voyage. Senor Columbus, welcome back to the continent. What is the very first thought that comes to your mind, sitting here on dry land?
The scent of the open sea never truly leave one. But the scent of victory, that is sweeter than any spice known in the markets of Genoa.
Victory indeed, tell us. Was there a moment, any single moment, when you truly believed the voyage would fail?
It was the day we saw the floating debris. Not seaweed, but carved wood. My men were terrified, convinced it was a sign of the world's end. That we had sailed off the edge and were seeing the wreckage from the void. I had to stand on the deck of the Santa Maria Asterisco. And for the first time, lie to my crew to save the mission.
Unbelievable, but were their fears only about the distance? Were there not monstrous tales of the sea that plagued the men?
Always. Every drop of bad luck was taken as a curse. When we passed the Straits of Gibraltar, the men feared they would be captured by the Great Sea Serpent said to devour all ships. And in the becalmed waters of the Sargasso, the crew swore we were floating above the sea of darkness where the water boiled, and giant, one-eyed demons waited below the wave to pull the ships down to hell. To sail west was to sail against all known horrors.
A lie to save history itself. That's a story that belongs in the history books. Admiral, you rose from humble beginnings as a weaver's son to stand before kings. How did you break away from your father's trade and find your calling on the sea?
My father saw a loom for my future, but he saw the ocean. By the age of 15, he was already rigging and handling cargo, learning the true trade of the world. To escape the life of a tradesman, he needed the sea to be my schoolmaster.
So your education was practical, not academic. Which teachers truly shaped your ambition?
The scholars are children who read the Bible, not the stars. I trust the ancients. My real teacher was Ptolemy. His Geographia showed the great seas of Asia, meaning the ocean sea must be small. They spoke of the east, but my mind was fixed on the shortest path to that east, by sailing west. The professors only saw the vast, empty sea. He saw the shore of India drawn by a man who lived 1,000 years ago.
Yet many powerful men believed your calculations were flawed, and the journey impossible. Did doubt ever creep in?
Doubt is for landsmen, not sailors. He knew the world's circumference better than any cleric. Their maps ended at the Pillars of Hercules. Mine extended to India itself. Conviction is the only compass that truly matters.
That conviction must have been essential when you stood before Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand. How did you, a simple sailor, convince the monarchy to finance this incredible venture?
The court was a theater of skepticism. He spoke not of risk, but of reward. He promised them gold, spices, and, most importantly, the chance to spread the Catholic faith further than any previous empire.
Was there a single piece of evidence that gave you the absolute certainty to make such promises?
It was the map of Master Toscanelli, the great physician from Florence. He was living in Lisbon, sharing charts with the Portuguese, when His Parchman arrived. He wrote, "The path west is not impossible, but short." He showed me exactly where Chipengu, Japan, lay, only a few thousand miles from the Canaries. This map was not theory. It was my destiny.
It was still an enormous expense for a newly unified Spain. What was the critical turning point in the negotiation?
The Queen saw the spiritual potential, the historic opportunity. He also spoke of the legendary 7 cities of Antillia, islands built by bishops fleeing the Moors. These were not myths, they were the true targets. He presented my demands. Admiral of the Ocean Sea, Viceroy of the New Lands. When they balked, he told them he would take my plan to the King of France. That was the critical move.
You gambled the mission on a walkout. That's stunning courage. Admiral, you have fundamentally changed the geography of the known world. What is the greatest wonder you encountered in the lands you named the West Indies?
Not the gold, though there is plenty. It is the color of the sea, the innocence of the people, and the towering, endless forest. It is a world untouched, waiting to be claimed and shaped.
Before you even sailed, you spoke of strange wood washing up in the Azores. Did that physical evidence remain more powerful than the ancient maps?
I respect the ancients, but I trust the sea. I spent years in the Azores and Madeira. The Portuguese sailors would find strangely carved pieces of wood that were not of European tree. And remember, my caravel was a faster ship than any built 50 years ago. We possessed the astrolabe and quadran, tools that allowed us to fix our position in the open sea, an ease of travel that Marco Polo could only dream of. These were signals from the sea itself, little messages that God had placed lands out there, waiting for a ship to follow the current.
And what is next for you, a rest?
Rest is a foreign concept. He must secure the path, establish the colonies, and bring back more proof of the riches. This first voyage was merely a reconnaissance. The real work, the true claiming of the new world, begins now.
Admiral, a man of your background would have had little access to the rare books and maps held by the royal courts. How did you gain the precise data, the proof, that gave you the confidence to challenge the establishment?
No. The true secret was the press, the new machine that prints the wisdom of the ancients for all who can read. I bought my own Ptolemy and Marco Polo, and stayed up until dawn, calculating. This knowledge, once locked in royal monasteries, was made public by God's own mechanical miracle. A great traveler like Ibn Battuta had to rely on a single, precious manuscript. We now have identical charts for every ship. But he also needed friends. Friar Juan Perez gave me shelter, and my brother Bartholomew, the cartographer, gave me his entire shop, my true library. Without that new knowledge printed and shared, the son of a wool weaver could never have challenged the wisdom of a king court.
So it was technology and networking that gave you the power to negotiate with the Queen, a true testament to self-made ambition. Thank you, Admiral. Admiral, for the young men and women of today, who fear the horizon or lack the confidence to start their own grand voyage, what single piece of advice would Christopher Columbus offer?
Do not listen to the scholars, the bankers, or the timid councilmen. They see only risk. The true man of destiny sees only possibility. You must believe in your plan when every other voice in the room whispers, "Fool." If the door is closed, you do not knock, you demand to be heard. Conviction, young people, is the only compass.
Powerful advice, Admiral. Now let's take one final, enormous jump in time. You have changed the known world in 1493. How do you, Christopher Columbus, imagine the Earth in the year 2000?
The year 2000. I see a world where the sea is no longer a barrier, but a great, silver road. I see giant carracks, not 3, but 100 strong, sailing daily between Hispaniola and Cadiz, carrying so much gold that the mountain of Spain are lined with it. The Catholic monarchs will rule the world, their fleets powered by the spices of the East, now reached by my western path. Every man will know Latin, and all will be unified in the one true faith. The world will be rich, pious, and entirely Spanish.
A truly remarkable vision from a truly historic figure. Thank you, Senor Christopher Columbus.
The pleasure was mine. Now, if you will excuse me,